In a world filled with noise, where voices constantly fight for attention, some rise, not because they're loud, but because they are deeply human. One of those voices belongs to Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, a priest, a teacher, a servant of faith, and perhaps, one day, a future pope. Luis Antonio Tagle was born in 1957 in Manila, Philippines. His family wasn't wealthy in material terms, but they were rich in love, faith, and a strong sense of community. His father worked for Philippine Airlines, and his mother stayed at home to raise him and his siblings. It was in this environment that Luis learned the importance of family and faith. From a young age, Luis showed a deep sense of empathy and curiosity. He didn't just play with other children, he asked big questions. He was compassionate, thoughtful, and always eager to listen. It was clear early on that he was called to serve. This calling led him to the seminary, where his journey as a priest began to unfold. Later, he traveled to Rome to study theology at the prestigious Pontifical Gregorian University. While there, he focused his research on the Second Vatican Council, a pivotal moment in church history that emphasized openness, dialogue, and mercy. For Tagle, these weren't just theoretical concepts. They became a part of his life's mission, a church that doesn't just teach, but listens. A church that doesn't just guide, but walks alongside people in their struggles. In 2001, he was appointed Bishop of Imus, a small diocese south of Manila. But he didn't see his role as one of power or prestige. Rather, he saw it as an opportunity to serve. He didn't sit behind a desk, he rode his bicycle through neighborhoods, visited people's homes, comforted the sick, and sat with those in need, sharing in their joys and struggles. His leadership was defined by his presence, not by his position. And this humility earned him the respect and admiration of everyone he met. In 2011, Tagle's role expanded when he was appointed Archbishop of Manila, the head of one of the largest and most influential dioceses in the world. But his humility remained unchanged. A year later, in 2012, Pope Benedict XVI named him a cardinal at just 55 years old. It was a rare honor, and the world began to take notice of this young, vibrant leader. Tagle wasn't like other church leaders. He was emotionally present. He cried during homilies, not as a display of weakness, but as a sign of his deep empathy for the people he served. He laughed with the young, sharing moments of joy with them. And he spoke not from a pulpit, but from the heart, connecting deeply with everyone, regardless of their background. As his global role continued to grow, so did his message. Tagle's vision for the church was clear. The church must not only be present in buildings, but it must be close to the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. His work wasn't just about preaching the gospel, it was about living it out. He traveled the world, Africa, Europe, the Americas, bringing the voice of the global south to the global stage. He reminded the church to focus on those who needed it most. In 2019, Pope Francis appointed Tagle as prefect of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, a role central to guiding the church's mission in today's world. It was a recognition of his outstanding leadership and vision for a more inclusive and merciful church. Tagle speaks multiple languages, but the one he speaks best is love. Not just as an abstract concept, but as an active, living force. He calls on the church to move beyond walls and ceremonies, to go out into the streets, the shelters, and meet people where they are. Many now see him as a strong candidate to succeed Pope Francis. He embodies the energy and vitality of the global church, a church that seeks to be more merciful, more inclusive, and more connected to the daily lives of people. But whether or not he becomes Pope, Luis Antonio Tagle's legacy is already taking shape. He teaches us that holiness isn't about perfection. It's about love. It's about being present with others and serving them in the way Christ would. True leadership isn't about being first, it's about stepping back so others can rise. Luis Antonio Tagle reminds us that the greatest leaders are those who put others first, who serve with humility and compassion. He is a cardinal of the people, a bridge between tradition and renewal, a voice of quiet strength in a world that so desperately needs it. Thank you for watching. May the journey of Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle inspire us all to lead with compassion, to live with humility, and to believe in the power of grace.